Hello everyone, wanted to give an update on the garden and the hydroponic, and first I wanted to show you the kind of pot we use here, and they are called Anova pots, and I suppose that you can see it. There is like a small area at the bottom where the water sits, and it's a new invention that was invented I think in 2010. And it got a couple of awards. So that's the kind of pot we use here for the hydroponic. And as I said before, the pump only needs to run a couple of minutes a day, even when it's really hot. So Sky will show you now the kind of plant we grow in the hydroponic. So here we've got a couple of zucchini that were planted a few weeks ago, and I've also put some cucumbers here. The last lot of cucumbers produced a lot of flowers but zero fruit, so I'm trying a new variety. Here we've got a couple of eggplants. Again, we've got some tomatoes and cucumber that were sown directly, and I've also sown some basil seeds, and it's starting just to come up nicely. I've got different type of tomatoes in there. These ones are the Super Sioux, and they seem to be doing really well here in summer. And here I've got another variety called Swanson, and it's supposed to be resistant to the virus we have here, the tomato spotted wilt virus, which is pretty damaging for our area. So yeah, we've got this system. Here we've got some chards, or Swiss chards for the chicken, and it's been growing quite nicely for the past 2 weeks. Some basil. I think here we've got some peppers, hot peppers, and here we've got some French tarragon which I've transplanted. So it's still looking a bit sad, but it's not too bad. Something I wanted to show you guys before, because I mentioned, I think on the forum, is that we had a problem with mosquitoes, and we were breeding mosquitoes in this big container, big tank, which is about 1,000 liters. And so what I did is that I drained everything to get rid of all the mosquitoes, and I've replaced it by a much smaller container which we can get rid or empty when we've got mosquitoes in it. And as you can see, we've got the pump here that sits, and because we run the pump only 1 minute 3 times a day, we don't have any problem with running out of water. And also the water drops back. We can't really see it here. You would need to be here, Sky. But we've got like a return area. Now you can't really see it. Yes, you can. So the water comes back through this sort of white area, the pipe. Okay, and I don't know if you can hear the background. We've got a kookaburra singing. So this is what the timer looks like, and it's a digital one, and yeah, you can do a lot of different programs. And as I say, at the moment we're running it 1 minute in the morning, at midday, and also in the evening, and it works pretty well. Okay, and now we are going to show you an update on bits and pieces that are growing here. So yesterday we did put some cocoa peat, because here we don't really have good soil. It's really full of sand and things, so we've got a lot of evaporation. Pepper seems to be doing okay even with the big heat we had. Tomatoes are looking a bit more sad because we had really hot temperature last week. I think it was 42 degrees. I can't remember how much it is in Fahrenheit. I think that was 95 degrees Fahrenheit. So tomatoes have been struggling a bit, but we've got a little bit of fruit. And that's the second crop we've had this year. One of the problems we have here too is that we've got animals, wildlife, and here, as you can see, we've got what we call here bandicoots. It's like a native marsupial that looks a bit like a big rat, but they just dig and eat worms and slugs and snails, so they're good for the garden, but they dig a little bit. Okay, this is the second wiki bowl, and I did sow lots of different bits and pieces a few months ago, and now we can see that some onions have been doing really well. Surprisingly, with the kind of hot weather we had, And also something I wanted to show you guys is the quince. The quince tree again is something that you wouldn't expect to survive really well in the kind of extreme weather we've got here, but it's actually doing quite well. And this year it's pretty much covered with fruit. So yeah, these are the quinces. We're lucky here is that we live in the Perth Hills, and it's cold enough in winter, so we have enough chill for our fruit trees, but it's also warm enough so that we can grow tropical fruits such as the bananas and the mangoes and all sorts of semi-tropical plants. We even have sugar cane. Alright, quick look at another barrel, and we've got some cherry tomatoes that have survived. Not a lot of fruit, but they're covered in flowers, so hopefully we'll get more fruit soon. Something interesting too that I would like to show you is we also like to do planting in pots and things, and this is like a pineapple that we propagated from the top of the fruit, and it works really well. You just put it first in water, and then once you start to see the roots, it's very easy to grow, and it looks like a nice indoor plant. I'm sure there's plenty of video on YouTube where you can see how to propagate these. Okay, just to show you what our first attempt at growing okra. We've got a pod, but the plants have been struggling mostly because this is a brand new bed and we don't have a lot of organic matter and water in it. But at least we've got fruit, and it probably will shoot back in when the temperatures start to cool down a bit, I think. Yes, the peppers, hot peppers are doing nicely here. It's something that I grew from seed, and I don't really know the variety of it. It's probably like long cayenne, but they're pretty good and pretty hot. So they're doing quite well here in the kind of weather condition we have. Something a bit surprising too is the kale is doing really well. So it must have some really deep root to get the water well down, and we eat that in salad. I thought kale was a winter crop, but it's doing really well in summer here. Just to finish off, I wanted to thank my daughter Sky for doing the filming and also helping a lot with the editing, and she will have the last few words.
Tashpa.